Et bonjour YouTube et bienvenue pour cette nouvelle VOD sur Starfield. Nous sommes à l'intérieur de la base SY-290 de la marine coloniale pour récupérer le matériel, le fameux comme je sais pas quoi là. Tout le monde s'interroge de pourquoi je suis là. Ouais, allez un peu plus vite.
Not to change the subject, but are we concerned about potential? No.
Et voilà, j'ai l'autorisation d'accès.
All right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
You here. Goggles almost unloaded. We'll be departing shortly.
Attendez, vous partez?
It's nothing you've done. You've managed to get to the entire station without raising a single alarm. But the longer I stick around, the more people ask questions. And that's before they find out what you've been up to.
Mais c'est moi votre cargaison.
You are, and I've delivered you just as Delgado asked. That being said, I can stay in orbit for a short while. I'll need to send word to Delgado anyway, if you don't get off that station. But it looks like you'll need to find your own way off the ship. That doesn't mean you're trapped. On a station this big, there are bound to be other vessels you can steal. As a member of the Crimson Fleet, I trust you can handle that.
Et ça me ferait un troisième vaisseau? Ouais, ça me va. J'ai réussi jusque là, je pourrais toujours m'en sortir discrètement.
You've made it this far without engaging in combat. I trust you'll have no issues moving further. It was an honor to work with a true professional.
Donc, on peut se reparler après, se boire un verre.
Next time you're at the Nova, I'll buy you a drink.
Bah voilà, nos idées sont synchronisées, on dirait. Vous pouvez rejoindre mon crew après. Vous allez voir, c'est bien. Bon alors il est possible qu'à ce niveau-là, les gens commencent à se demander ce que je fous là en tant qu'enseigne. Non, personne ne me pose de questions.
Intercepting transponder data in the Harvard system might be promising. Wait, who are you?
Bonsoir, monsieur Vogel.
Why are you in here? Did you not see the sign?
Je dois faire une vérification de routine sur le ComSpike, j'ai besoin d'y avoir accès.
Don't you mean access to the ship? Because the ComSpike isn't a device, it's a module. It's attached to a prototype in one of our docking ports.
Merci pour toutes ces informations, monsieur.
We're still in the testing phase, running decryptions across a variety of signal types, but the results so far have been very promising. It can even interpolate signal data lost in the retrieval. It really is a wondrous technology.
Je vois d'ici les applications dans le domaine militaire. Pas étonnant que l'UC s'y intéresse.
Yes, it's not quite cracking the Enigma code, but it will give us a significant tactical advantage. We'll be able to infer everything from battle plans to meal
Ça
consumption.
ressemble vachement au craquage d'Enigma quand même.
We'd care about that sort of thing, outside of the effects of diet on combat readiness. And yes, there are certain kinks to be worked out, missing parts and the occasional traumatic injury here and there, but it's all part of the adventure.
Je pense que j'ai ce qu'il faut pour piloter, j'adore l'aventure.
Yes, it's not the destination, but the journey that matters, particularly when the destination is death. But don't worry, we've corrected the problem with the ship's life support systems, and statistical models show a failure rate of less than 2%. In short, I've requested a full squadron of these brave and fearless Marines to be transferred to the station. They'll give the prototype a final run, and provided there are minimal casualties, we can present our findings to MAST.
En fait, je fais partie de ces nouveaux pilotes d'essai.
Splendid. Splendid. That was fast. I thought I put in the request this morning. Normally my requests aren't given this much attention, let alone haste. It seems a tad suspicious.
Quelqu'un de très haut placé me devait un service.
Commander Natara has never once shown me any favor.
J'ai pas dit que c'était elle.
Why would she start now?
Vous dites vous-même qu'il faut des pilotes et maintenant vous faites le difficile.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that phrase. I've never even seen a horse, but from what I've read, they would make for very poor pilots.
Je suis sûr que du coup c'était la version anglaise de à cheval donné on ne regarde pas les dents. On m'a expressément demandé de piloter ce vaisseau pour des raisons top secrètes.
I see.
J'aurais dû faire ça, putain.
It would have been nice if they kept me in the loop. I am the project lead, after all.
Ah, ça continue. Comment j'aurais passé tous les points de contrôle si je n'étais pas pilote?
True.
Voilà.
And Commander Natara's checkpoints are very thorough. Too thorough, if you ask me, not that anyone does. All right, you've convinced me. You're the new test pilot. You'll need a uniform and a terminal password to authorize a flight and get past Natara's cumbersome checkpoints. The uniform you can get in the locker room area, the password you get from me. You'll find the prototype ship at Docking Bay 8. Use the password to access the flight terminals in the control center. And of course, best of luck. You are doing science a great service by undertaking this sacrifice.
Ok, il me faut un uniforme de pilote. Et ensuite, il faut que j'essaye de trouver un moyen d'accéder au truc en évitant un maximum les contrôles de sécurité qui pourraient me trahir. Combinaison de pilote. Cette infiltration se passe extrêmement bien. La sécurité elle est un peu sur les nerfs, non? Fusil braqué sur les gens. Comment qu'on sort? Merde, je voulais pas forcément craquer une porte, mais ok. Est-ce que j'ai un truc à 1? Oui.
Since I traveled with Vladimir Soul.
Pourtant c'est pas le premier que je claque. Vous me regardez pas en fait. Vous me regardez plus.
So, what's this big project you're working on? Well, I can tell you, but then I'd have to. Really?
J'imagine que c'est l'aération qui nous intéresse dans ce bureau.
Try my best not to enjoy it.
Et des munitions. Et le contenu de ce coffre. Pas convaincu. Mieux. Calibre, crédit, pistolet du vieux monde. Putain, je fais des petites collections des armes du vieux monde là. suis revenu exactement au même point. Par où je suis arrivé dans cet endroit? Par là. Transport lift. Comment j'accède au hangar, bordel? Parce que là, il y a un indicateur qui est là. Et je peux pas accéder à cette zone.
Yes?
Excusez-moi, je récupère un peu vos trucs de soins parce que j'en ai souvent besoin. L'aération semblait une bonne piste. Peut-être que j'ai pris la mauvaise porte. Mais non, il n'y a qu'une seule porte en fait. Hein. Bonjour. Mais là, après. Hop. Je tourne en rond en fait. Ah mais il y a une autre aération ici. Et oui. Mais elle m'amène juste dans les vestiaires. Bizarre d'ailleurs. Mais il y a une autre aération dans les vestiaires. Ok, apparemment j'ai trouvé l'itinéraire. Security. Paf. Et me voilà à bord du prototype de vaisseau.
To my crew position.
Pour récupérer le 3e vaisseau de ma flotte. Bon, sauf qu'on va certainement le donner à la flotte écarlate dans un premier temps, mais à terme, ça sera à moi, non?
Prototype ship, you are not cleared for takeoff. What's going on over there?
Si, j'ai le mot de passe. Attends, il faut déjà que je donne le mot de passe, non? J'ai pas un truc de communication? Il dit quoi mon objectif? Localiser la boîte de raccordement. Non, échappez-vous de SY. Ah, j'ai pas. Ah, le mot de passe, c'est pas pour autoriser le décollage. Eh oui, il est toujours pas autorisé. Bon, va falloir speeder et semer les poursuivants. Sans forcément déclencher de combat. C'est parti pour désamarrer. Alors. On veut déclencher un saut quantique vers Krix. Faut juste qu'on tienne juste. Paf! Ça dégage. On répare.
Hail acknowledged. Dock where you like.
Et voilà, on a un nouvel appareil prototype de la marine coloniale. Ça fait pas plaisir. On va s'amarrer tranquillement à la clé. Faudrait que j'explique ça à Ikande après. Bon, après il savait que je venais choper le ComSync ou je sais pas quoi là. Putain, toujours pas le nom de l'appareil mais... J'ai vu des warps, j'espère que je suis pas poursuivi. Ma combinaison. Parce que la combinaison de pilote très bien, mais en vrai je préfère celle que j'avais avant. Donc on remet ça. C'était l'éclipse que j'avais avant, non. Le casque. Non, la tenue. Là je suis en uniforme, non. On remet la tenue en cuir. Et on va mettre le reste, ouais, pas dans le cargo bay. Bah après si j'ai accès au cargo bay, normalement ça veut dire que j'en suis le propriétaire. Hein. C'est que ça marche.
Visiting with the Crimson Fleet, eh? Always a pleasure.
Well, well, well. Welcome back, Rook. Looks like you got a new toy for me. Go on in and give everyone the lowdown. We'll take care of things from here.
Déjà je vais aller voir Yuan. Dites-moi Yuan. Vous avez vu un peu ce tour de force? Ça vous donne pas envie de m'accompagner dans mes aventures? Je réalise une équipe 100% féminine. Pour vaincre tous les machos. Je recruterai Neva après. Une fois qu'on aura détruit la flotte rouge, la flotte écarlate, on lui dira allez, quand même. On s'est bien amusé. Elle est garantie, elle me rejoindra alors que je travaille pour l'UC. C'est pas de souci.
Nice to know Neva was right about you. It's good to have a promising rookie with the fleet.
Neva s'était portée garante de moi.
Surprise? Neva talks tough, and frankly, she is tough. But she's not a machine.
Je n'aurais pas réussi sans vous.
I won't deny I helped. Let's hope the compensation reflects that, huh? Anyway, I believe I owe you a drink. It's the last time I'm paying, of course. Because if Delgado's right about Crix's legacy, you've earned more than your fair share already with that ComSpike.
Est-ce que Delgado vous a filé les infos sur le ComSpike?
Yeah, although I get why you didn't give me the details. If I had known this was about the legacy, I might have asked for a bigger cut.
C'est comme si l'héritage de Crix était déjà entre nos mains.
Sounds like you're on board as a true believer. I have to admit, the way things are going, I'm starting to believe myself.
Discovering Crix's legacy would solve one of the settled system's great mysteries. Oh, I'm as curious and excited as anyone to see what we'll find.
Meuf, on est en infiltration, on n'est pas censé kiffer ce qui se passe ici.
Long enough. Now that you've had your drink and my debt is paid, it's time for you to give Delgado the good news.
Très bien. Ah, j'avoue, qui travaillerait pour un truc qui s'appelle SysDef? Ça va vraiment être con.
While we're here, perhaps we should remain silent about my background with the United Colonies.
Et du coup, ferme ta gueule.
Are you looking to start something? 'Cause I'll finish it.
Sinon, tu sais que moi, j'ai non seulement un passé, mais je suis actuellement engagé dans plus de 3 branches gouvernementales de l'UC, donc bon, oui, on va fermer nos gueules. Bah, il me parle pas.
Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the ComSpike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
On dirait pas de lui dire au dealer qu'on est fait qu'infiltrer dans le cartel. Madame, je vous ai entendu. Le ComSpike a été intégré au vaisseau, alors je n'avais pas vraiment le choix.
Should have taken the compliment, Rook. Dale doesn't give those out often. Juan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She gave you some really high praise. Said you were a pro.
And from what I hear, receiving praise from Juan Dayu is quite an accomplishment.
Et ça a l'air d'être pour tout le monde en fait.
A job well done. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have 2 of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end
Oh
to
no.
the other. ComSpike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted.
Vous voulez pas me redonner le vaisseau?
All right. That leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that
Ah, on va aller
powers the
sur
city.
Neon.
We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannon IV.
C'est quoi le réseau conducteur?
It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
Je vais risquer ma vie pour une simple... Non, Jess saura sûrement le faire fonctionner.
You damn right she can. My girl can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, neighbor. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
Regarde son foulard, il a l'air très rigide.
The lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash.
J'espère qu'il n'y a pas de sous-entendu là-dedans.
You'll find I rarely imply things. In fact, I take pleasure in declaring my words straight to your goddamn face. Here is an example. I want you to do everything Estelle asks. Follow her instructions to the letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
Understood. We'll do our best to remain on her good side.
Never mind her good side. You'd be better off appealing to her bank account. That is what drives her.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Sauvage's place.
Ah ouais, c'est pas quelqu'un qui va
I'd
tuer son
say
mari, ça.
don't keep her waiting. But chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us. So I want you focused. We are one step away from Crix's legacy. And we cannot afford any screw-ups.
Le module de ComSpike est désormais disponible, j'ai pas vu. Rallier l'UC Vigilance. On va aller faire notre rapport et on va découvrir enfin Neon, qui a l'air d'être la capitale de Liberastra. Si j'ai bien compris. Et j'espère qu'elle porte bien son nom. Et qu'il y a des néons partout. C'est là où mon perso est né. Ah, très bien. Donc j'imagine que c'est rempli de criminels et de tarés.
Some pleasant change of scenery.
Hop, de retour à bord du Dragonfly. Dragonfly. Direction Olympus, Aranea. Je jure qu'un jour on s'occupera de la quête Procyon A, Procyon B. Ils ont déplacé le Vigilance. Faut que j'arrête de virer quand je suis si proche de la clé parce qu'à chaque fois je me... Là j'étais pas loin de taper avec la queue. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? C'est la bagarre ici. suis niveau 11. Je suis niveau 11. J'ai pas encore fait assez de défis d'éloquence pour monter ça. Par contre, on en est au niveau sécurité. Crocheter 15 serrures. J'y suis pas encore. Qu'est-ce qu'on a d'autre? Les points de vie. Les points de vie, on peut les booster. Haltérophilie, c'est quoi? Pour augmenter ma charge maximale. Bon, c'est un peu... Furtivité, par contre... Ah oui, il faut faire des attaques furtives. Ce que je ne fais pas. Quand je suis furtif, en général, je suis en mode... bah, pas de combat. Augmentons mes points de vie. Alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? Pourquoi c'est la bagarre? Et qu'est-ce que je fous là, surtout? Rallier l'UC Vigilance. D'accord, donc c'est bien là. Qui se bat contre qui? C'est la flotte écarlate. Il y a la flotte écarlate qui se bat contre des trucs, mais je sais pas quoi. Contre la sécurité de Liberastra. Hop, j'ai récupéré le butin. Si ça ne vous dérange pas. On travaille ensemble, c'est la flotte écarlate quoi. J'ai encore beugné la coque. Heureusement que je suis connu comme faisant partie de la flotte écarlate. J'ai pas eu besoin de faire la bagarre. Mais du coup ça veut dire qu'ils m'ont vu passer par là. Là ils me voient me fixer au vigilante où je vais pour dire ah je suis en train de bien les baiser ces bâtards de la flotte écarlate. Haha.
Shame the United Colonies built such an impressive ship for battle, instead of using it for exploration.
Oui, Sarah, je comprends que tu vois, tu es pas les mêmes valeurs qu'eux, mais bon. C'est normal que... Enfin, c'est classique que les pays fassent des systèmes de défense.
It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process.
J'ai encore tué personne. Comment le Thames réagit à toute cette histoire?
As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier.
J'ai préféré limiter les pertes vu qu'il s'agit d'une station coloniale.
And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
I assure you, we'd never harm anyone from the United Colonies without provocation, Commander.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the ComSpike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report.
Comment ça, le temps presse?
With the acquisition of the ComSpike, the fleet is one step closer to Crix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the ComSpike.
J'ai réussi à pénétrer à bord de la station avec l'aide d'un capitaine de vaisseau cargo du nom de Wendayu. C'est elle qu'on va arrêter?
That all depends on what you've brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing. But at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the ComSpike.
Du coup, Wend échappera à la tôle. Delgado fait travailler Jasmine Durand sur le ComSpike.
Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannon IV problem?
Il pense utiliser le réseau conducteur de Generdyne à Neon.
The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannon IV's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
That's the case. Inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake.
Vous ne craignez pas que la flotte s'approche de l'héritage de Crix?
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk.
Quelle erreur embarrassante.
The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the lock, touched off by Jasper Crix, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and MAST will authorize an all-out assault.
J'espère que ça entraîne une augmentation.
I'll see what I can do. You've certainly gone above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Parce que j'ai une famille à Call of Duty. Oh, j'ai arrêté ça.
I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
Toujours. J'ai l'étoffe des héros.
Nice work on the siren.
Il faut que je voyage jusqu'à Neon. Mais on va passer dans les cellules pour voir qui ils ont.
I don't know about you.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire?
People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature.
Bah on m'a forcé. Hein.
Hard to read. When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules.
Ah ouais, quelqu'un dont on puisse prévoir les déplacements. Vous ne me connaissez pas.
No, I don't. But I do know the previous occupants of that interrogation chair you were sitting in. Not good people, to say the least. I think one of them even strangled a man. With his teeth. But if Commander Ikande says you're Sistef, then you are one of us. For now.
C'est bizarre ce casque qui montre que vos dents. Vous êtes pilote?
You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call fogo. A firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best. And I've got the kills to prove it.
Je connaissais le FOMO. Je parie que je pourrais vous en mettre plein la vue.
I like your confidence. And there's always room in the squad for another apex predator. Just be sure you know whose side you're on. Later, Gator.
En fait, j'avais oublié, mais je m'en battais un peu les couilles de ta vie. Alors, c'est où les cellules déjà? Rig, c'est là. Oula, ça s'est rempli. Salut. Ça va, Evgeny Lokov. Ah.
I was wondering when you'd visit.
Je savais pas qu'on l'avait chopé.
Should give us a little time to catch up.
Vous le prenez étonnamment bien.
Well, of course, what choice do I have? Thanks to my own stupidity, my second chance to return to the Crimson Fleet is long gone. And by the time I get out of prison, any hopes I had to return to that life will have fully disappeared.
Vous auriez mieux fait de rester capitaine de vaisseau de croisière.
Yes, well, apparently that's off the table as well. Trident tends to shy away from rehiring convicted felons. Well, anyway, glad you popped by to say hello.
Ah, je me sens
Now,
pas si
if you
triste.
wouldn't mind letting an old man get his rest, I'd appreciate it.
Je peux vous poser des questions sur votre arrestation?
After getting set up on the key, I traveled to a few settlements to find a base of operations. I was looking
qu'il
for
faudrait ça, moi aussi.
a place that would allow me to pick up information about juicy shipments for the fleet to jump on. When I stopped at Gagarin, SysDef was on the ground waiting for me instead of that contact I was expecting to meet. Your friend Toft really pulled the wool over my eyes.
Je vous ai fait une faveur en vous mettant ici. Le SysDef va détruire la flotte écarlate.
So you're saying I should be happy that you took me out of the line of fire. I have to confess, I never thought of it that way.
Dans une autre vie,
Last thing
Rokov.
I intended to do with my life was go out in a blaze of glory on Neighbor Delgado's behalf. But at the same time, my freedom's gone, so I'm not exactly popping the cap off.
Non, mais on va bien trouver une petite mission pénitentiaire, t'inquiète. J'imagine que Trident va porter plainte.
Oh yes, quite aggressively. The illegal team will very likely grind me into the dirt, and there isn't much I can do about it. The amusing thing is, I don't even think they care very much that the heist went down on their ship. That's a given risk for them. I think they're more embarrassed I was able to gain the position as captain of the Siren under false pretenses in the first place.
Par contre, c'est con de l'avoir arrêté.
That's the last time I trusted you.
C'était ma... Moi, je comptais l'utiliser comme homme de confiance quand j'allais... Et lui, on lui allume pas la lumière. Il a pas le droit. J'étais en train de me créer des hommes de confiance au sein de la flotte écarlate pour le moment où j'ai envie de tout faire péter. Ça, c'est ma chaise où je me suis fait interroger. Avoir des gens de mon côté, mais eux, ils ont décidé de l'arrêter.
Hey.
Étrange. Ils sont sûrs qu'ils savent comment on fait pour démanteler une organisation comme ça.
Off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
On est parti. Pour Neon. Je voulais mettre des trucs dans le stockage. Dans la soute, je voulais mettre... Alors attends, parce que j'ai plein de nouvelles armes. Mais il y en a qui utilisent les mêmes munitions, non? .43 Ultra Mag. L'Urban Eagle, qui fait du 39. Et le Regulator qui fait du 35. Mais les démembreurs, plus de 20% de dégâts contre les robots. Lui, viseur réflexe, ouais. Le régulateur il dégage. Hein. Hop, on le met dans le Dragonfly. Mais c'est bien ça, c'est... Non, c'est Dragonfly, j'ai bien marqué, ok. J'ai 2 Grendel. Donc celui-là, on le fout dans le bordel. Calibre 45. Personne d'autre. 11 mm, le point 43 mm, 9,39. Ok, tout le reste c'est bon. En combinaison, j'aimerais bien dégager cette combinaison de pilote et cette combinaison spatiale de l'éclipse. En sac, il y a le sac de pilote qui est naze. En casque, j'ai le casque spatial de pilote qui est naze et le casque spatial d'exploration profonde qui est naze. Et en tenue, je vais mettre l'uniforme et la casquette de la marine nationale. Eh, ça me va bien. On va plutôt stocker l'autre casquette. Mettre les ressources. Merde, j'ai pas fini. Et toute la merde là. Il y a juste un carnet de notes. Ok. Et du coup, j'aimerais bien, en tenue, avoir la casquette de la marine coloniale. Let's go. Oula, c'est loin. Volley. Mais j'ai déjà toutes les trajectoires nécessaires pour y aller qui sont connues.
Welcome to 3-star space. We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband and be on your way. Alright, we're done. Have a good time in Neon.
Et nous voilà dans le territoire de Liberastra. Il pleut sur votre monde de merde. Ah mais on a des néons. C'est quoi, on est sur des plateformes pétrolières, c'est ça? À l'intérieur desquelles il y a une ville cyberpunk. Et il y a de la foudre qui tombe en permanence à l'extérieur et qui est absorbée par le bouclier. C'est Midgar en fait.
See that shroud covering the orb? Believe it or not, we're the only systems that cause exist. Looks like some sort of
téléphone maison.
It's probably designed to suck the credits directly from your pocket.
Pourquoi c'est corrompu ici?
Alright, get up slowly and turn around. Try to run and we open fire. So, what was the plan, Russia? Smuggle the Aurora into Aquila City or New Atlantis?
No, I just forgot I was carrying it, is all. Honest mistake, right? Can't we just settle this right here? I can pay
Bon, je vous laisse, hein. Vous avez l'air d'être occupé. Et voilà. C'est cyberpunk. Encore des offres d'emploi pour Yutine.
Pointing to the Astral Lounge. I suppose we should pay it a visit. Purely for exploratory purposes, of course.
On est là en business, ça, pas pour le plaisir. C'est gentil de m'accueillir. C'est modem sauvage.
Look, I ain't gonna stand around here all day, right? Want the stuff or not?
C'est toi le contact.
You looking to get zoned?
What? You think this stuff falls
Je ne suis pas là en touriste, vous pouvez laisser tomber la comédie.
Oh, it's not an act. If you're looking to score some Aurora, we can talk later. But for now, since you're clearly the rook that Delgado sent, let's talk business. Save both of us some time.
turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no mood to screw around. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously.
Je fais pas demi-tour sans le matos. Je commence à en avoir marre qu'on me qualifie de bleusaille.
And I'm getting tired of the fleet not taking me seriously. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech.
The few times I've dealt with Benjamin Bayou in the past have been rather unpleasant, to say the least.
Oh, Bébou, on peut lui dire. Bayou, c'est qui celui-là?
Benjamin Bayou.
C'est pas un ancien premier secrétaire de ELV?
Mayor, or administrator, or whatever the hell you want to call him. He's also the greediest bastard you'll ever meet. Got his fingers in everyone's business, and the muscle to back it up. The only reason I'm allowed to operate on Neon is because I pay well to keep my involvement off his radar.
C'est le paradis de la corruption, c'est ça?
The last thing I need right now is an amateur like you getting me kicked off world.
Si vous avez envie d'énerver Delgado en vous plaignant constamment, c'est vous que ça regarde.
All right. I get the point. Let's just get this over with. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly.
De quel bâtiment on parle? De quel genre de bâtiment?
I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city.
Où se trouve le bas-ventre?
Beneath your feet, genius. It's the lowest level of Neon. Generdyne and Xenofresh are down there, along with some of the finest cuisine in the city.
Qu'est-ce que le noyau exactement?
Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable.
Ça n'a pas l'air compliqué.
Love the confidence. But before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it.
Oui, j'arrive toujours à faire les jobs 2 en 1. Pourquoi je devrais faire ça pour vous?
The elevator doesn't exactly go to the top floor in that head of yours, does it? Everything in the Crimson Fleet is accomplished through a decent helping of give and take. As in, I'm not going to give you the information to get your precious data unless you take this virus and upload it like I asked.
Delgado n'a jamais rien mentionné à propos d'un virus.
That's because you're planning it for me as a favor. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own.
Pourquoi avez-vous besoin d'accès à leur... non, un autre Bayou travaille à Generdyne? Non, c'est le même, évidemment.
Nepotism has its advantages.
D'accord.
Word on the street is that the Generdyne gig is the only one Benjamin could get for his younger brother. He's not the brightest.
Pourquoi avez-vous besoin d'accéder à leurs données?
Let's just say that information can be just as lucrative as selling Aurora and keep it at that, okay? But don't worry, I promised Delgado that when it came to the conduction grid data, that's his territory. I won't touch it.
J'imagine que la sécurité ne sera pas contente de me voir.
Oh no. Are you scared, little rabbit? Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight. But, as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place.
Il y a forcément un piège quelque part.
The catch is that Komiko's having a little fling with Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself,
She's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astro Lounge so we can celebrate.
Sauf si je dois partir en vitesse. Que pouvez-vous me dire d'utile au sujet de Generdyne?
Not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Generdyne has been in dire financial straits for years.
Et ça leur suffit pas ici? Je suppose que la ville leur prête des crédits pour les maintenir à flot.
Loaning them credits? No, that's not how things work around here. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious
Benjamin
profit?
Bayou. Ryujin Industries?
Ooh, not even close. The answer you
non,
were looking
Benjamin
for
Bayou.
isn't another corporation. It's a person. It's good old Benny Bayou.
Eh oui, mais j'avais la réponse moi, madame.
Son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in this sorry excuse for a city. Generdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Brayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that.
C'est quoi l'histoire de Brayson Bayou?
Nepotism gets him the job at Generdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give the moron a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight.
Il y a des choses à savoir sur Ayumi Komiko.
Businesswoman.
À part qu'elle a un nom de commissariat.
She's the COO at Generdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants.
Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez me dire sur Euphorica?
Pretty laid-back club over in Ebbside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course. The rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Don't let Komiko push you around.
Ça nous fait un certain nombre d'objectifs. J'ai posé quelques questions sur Generdyne pour savoir si c'était bien éthique de l'aider à voler leurs secrets. Bon, ça reste pas très éthique. En même temps, on est chez Liberastra, moi je travaille pour l'UC. Je pense que ça les dérangera pas trop si je fous la merde dans Liberastra. Et puis bon, ça a l'air d'être des connards quand même, Generdyne. Ils se sont foirés, du coup ils font payer le prix cher. Trouver des preuves pour faire chanter Ayumi Komiko. Du coup, ça serait Bayou Plaza.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bad part of town, buddy. I'm gonna do you a favor. Head back to Bayou Plaza before the disciples get you.
Qui sont ses disciples?
A gang. Worst gang there is. They'll stab you for kicks, taking bets on how long you squeal before you bleed out. And that's not a hyper whatchamacallit. They seriously did that. Poor Ted.
Merci du conseil.
We gotta look out for each other, right? Us crate rats used to think the Ebbside strikers were awful, with all the muggings and shakedowns, but now that they're on the ropes, kinda wish they weren't just holed up in Madame Sauvage's. Streets are getting bad. Real bad.
Ça veut dire que les strikers sont mieux?
I mean, yeah, they'll rob you blind, but at least they let you live. They're bad news. but compared to disciples, positive angels.
Je devrais aller me renseigner sur eux.
Well, you'll find them at Madame Sauvage's. They're always holding auditions, as they call it. Looking for new blood. So, being so helpful, chance for a donation. Come on, might be saving my life. What with the disciples and all. Have a heart.
1000 crédits, merci de l'info.
Hey, thanks. Look, I mean it. Go back to the plaza. Ain't nothing but shit and misery over here.
Très bien. Bon, je compte pas vraiment me faire recruter par un gang. C'est pas trop dans le mindset de mon personnage. Alors c'est quoi ici? Upside, ok. Et là... Ici c'est l'Astral Lounge.
I've heard that Benjamin Bayou has a private penthouse at the top of the tower.
Donc là on peut aller chez General Industries pour aller voir le bureau de nos commis là.
Yeah, what?
Comico.
Is this important? I'm really busy right now.
Pardon.
Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago.
Je ne suis pas là pour travailler.
Good. If you were, you'd be the 12th person I've turned away this year. What a waste. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here.
Pourquoi êtes-vous aussi ouvert avec des informations aussi sensibles?
Why? Because I'm sick and tired of putting on a corporate face, pretending that nothing's wrong.
Je comprends, mec.
It's do or die time around here. We can either spin our wheels forever or worse, go under completely.
Si ça ne vous dérange pas d'en parler, je veux bien vous écouter.
I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division.
On a trouvé une nouvelle application de votre truc. C'est vous qui commandez ici?
Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around.
Le réseau conducteur est le seul produit de Generdyne?
No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Generdyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse.
On dirait que vous avez besoin de changer de responsable R&D.
You'd think that, right? The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology.
Pourquoi vous souciez-vous tant du sort de Generdyne?
I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees.
Vous êtes
If
que
Generdyne
117?
goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of
PME,
our
en fait.
personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them.
Comment est-ce que Brayson a eu le poste déjà?
Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayou clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action.
Il doit y avoir d'autres scientifiques qui travaillent avec Brayson.
Of course there are. But so far, Brayson has suppressed most of their work through pure jealousy. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou. but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do?
Que dit le rapport exactement?
It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective.
Si vous êtes inquiet pour la compagnie, envoyez ce rapport à l'administrateur Bayou.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time.
Vous allez vous faire virer, mais c'est pas grave.
If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask.
Je peux vous poser quelques questions sur Ayumi Komiko?
As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away.
Vous aimez travailler pour elle?
She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down.
Depuis combien de temps elle est votre chef?
I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think.
Pensez-vous qu'elle puisse être impliquée dans quoi que ce soit d'illégal?
Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this.
Ok, persuasion. Je sais que vous voudriez m'aider si vous le pouviez.
I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here.
Je vous promets que ça restera entre nous.
I mean, it might be okay.
Personne ne saura jamais que vous l'avez dit, je vous le promets.
No, I can't. Sorry. Look, I don't know why you're pushing me to talk about Miss Komiko's private affairs, but I don't think it's appropriate to ask me about this right now.
Okay.
Sure, no problem.
D'où est-ce que Genodyne est parti?
Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of the conduction grid, Felicia Corbin. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get the conduction grid up and running. That was Genodyne's first and last major success.
Vous pouvez me dire comment fonctionne le réseau conducteur?
The span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic absorption system. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is instantly distributed across the grid to prevent overload. The energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'il n'y a pas de réseau conducteur dans toutes les grandes villes?
That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why Volai was chosen as its primary development site. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced.
Moi j'en ai une. Ok mec.
Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Et merci YouTube d'avoir suivi cette VOD sur Starfield. On se retrouve la prochaine fois pour tenter de voler cette technologie et aller récupérer enfin l'héritage. A plus.